how your brain works and what makes you so amazing in the world. I love to like not have that be something that's subtly in our conversation, and instead give you an opportunity to share a little bit about yourself, from the standpoint of what like most people might see on the outside. I really want to give us a chance. My invitation to you is to enter the brag zone. Tell us some of your favorite accomplishments. Tell us some of the things that you do that you're really proud of, and how others might see you in terms of what you do from the outside. And then we'll spend the rest of our conversation really on who you are and the transformation for where you're looking to go next.
Cool. Whew. Okay, where to start? Well, I guess when I think about my story, and I will try to enter into this brag zone. I promise I'll try my best. Um, I I think for me it comes back to I was born and raised in Jakarta, Indonesia, and I've lived in many parts of the world since, and I consider myself very much and global citizen sounds really cliche, but I really do feel the boundaryless nature of my world. The world I operate in, and the world I'm curious about is not bound to the definitions of country and place. And I think that's actually one of the things I'm most proud of, like pushing myself to be in new environments and to really openly embrace the world around me. I think has shaped where I've entered into my career. And I've been really lucky to have had that opportunity, but also have taken the initiative to step into really different environments and to really flex that particular muscle. So I've lived in about 8 countries around the world. I'm super thrilled to call Singapore home at the moment. And my journey and the game that I'm playing, I started in development. So I actually went through university and went through growing up feeling that I wanted to work in the space of international development. And that was probably because I grew up in a developing country, and seeing a lot of inequality was something that you just don't shake that off. I think it became a lived experience that I had to embed in my career. But the way I went about it, I started working in advocacy and designing advocacy campaigns that brought people together around issues that they care about and to advocate for change. And this was at the time at a policy level, and I was working for a large nonprofit organization, and at time in New York. And that's where my career really kicked off. But I started to want to explore different styles of change making. So that was really one type of change making was within this structure, this political structure. And another wave of change making that really excited me was working directly with people, specifically entrepreneurs, innovators, people with really game changing ideas. And I joined a crowdfunding platform that worked with social entrepreneurs around the world to give them the platform to kickstart their ideas and to lead change in their communities. And that excited me immensely. I moved back to Asia, and I led the growth of this platform all across Southeast Asia, made an incredible network of friends and innovators that have gone on to do incredible things around the world. And I got to back them. I got to be one of their first backers, one of their first coaches, and it gives me great pleasure and something I'm very proud to brag about. And then that led me to my other, I guess, one of my own baby, which was setting up a space, a physical space and a hub to support more entrepreneurs, particularly in my home country in Indonesia. So I moved back to Jakarta and I set up a space called the Impact Hub, which is part of a global network and a community of 100 plus hubs around the world, all in their local ecosystems, in their local communities, driving change. And we collectively come together to drive that from a global perspective. And I think that really epitomizes my theory of change, or why I do what I do. I really believe that there are just so many complex issues and challenges in the world. And I've worked one-on-one with entrepreneurs, and I've worked at a systems level. I think at the end of the day, we need more structures that help collective. It's really interested in what is the art and the science around collaboration. What does that look like to actually bring people together from diverse points of view to drive systems change?
Awesome. I lost you for just a small second there, Stephanie, but I think we've passed it. That's gone. But actually, I would like to just kind of follow up really quickly, because you said that you'd seen things from a systems level, you've done the one-on-one, and then it was almost like the Goldilocks was going to be revealed, and that's when I lost you there. So let's just like kind of without
Yeah.
having to go backwards, just like
Yeah.
yeah.
What was kind of the punchline there, or what was the insight? So my insight, I think my insight from there was it's not one or the other in terms of approach. It was, how do we actually have these approaches happening and better supported through collaboration and through communities? Because I think at the end of the day, these mechanisms for change are best facilitated when there is a community of trust, and it makes community building and collaboration makes things possible that just aren't possible individually or alone, whether you are an individual entrepreneur or whether you are a system that might be outdated. And I think and I think being able to dip my toes in these different ways of working, ways of collaboration, and zooming out of that, the real sense was we just have to learn how to work better together. And I think at the end of the day, whether that's exploring that through a global network, or whether it's building community in my local city, whatever that looks like, it still requires human to human collaboration and connection. And I'm really interested in the intercultural piece of that, having worked and lived in several environments and growing up in a third culture sort of setting and background. And that's the space I'm continuing to explore, and I'm deepening my practice in.
We're just getting started. Click on the link below to watch the full conversation, and go to niyamaashaun.com/tribe to get additional resources and exclusive invitation to tribe-only events. Journey on.